What's going on, y'all? So this is going to be a video about morons in the comments who don't understand the way things work, and then idiots who think just because you get a powerful laptop that somehow uh, it can't outperform a console, which I think is funny. Starting with this though, we're gonna go down here. So this guy, he's not necessarily attacking. Let's start with him. You didn't listen to them properly. They were talking about a future parity with 4070 and not about raw performance. Digital Foundry clearly stated that because this is about me saying when Mr. Baldy made the comment that, which I think it's John Letterman, or the hell his name is, if you wanted to get a PlayStation 5 Pro type PC, which who would the hell want to build a PC around that? It's outdated. It's kind of stupid. What would be the equivalent to building a PC? And how much more would it cost? And he said probably a fair bit more, right? We could find it in this video if we want to do this. Here it is right here.
Yeah,
What do you imagine that would cost?
probably a fair bit more. I mean, you need to have the GPU that you're going to need. I mean, if you consider a holistic view of all of the different components, the enhanced ray tracing, no AMD GPU has that at the moment. The machine learning block, no AMD GPU has that. It's almost like essentially an NVIDIA style feature set, but made by AMD. And the closest equivalent GPU you'll be looking at would be the RTX 4070.
No, this was the whole thing right here. Closest. No. If you want to say the closest, it would be a 4060 Ti. And even then, you're still CPU bound and RAM bound. I don't care what anyone says past that. Like if you just want to make that an argument, you're just slow. He shouldn't have said that. That was an inaccurate statement. And it's all AMD technology to begin with. People getting obsessed with this ray tracing times four. Yeah, go ahead and do that in a video game. Yeah, let me know how you keep dropping below 30 frames per second and you can never get 60 because you're CPU limited. These people are slow. And let's go down to these comments. You didn't listen to them properly when they were talking about future parity with the 4070. Dude, I could do future parity on my PC, and that 4070 is going to be way better than anything that PS4 Pro can do. Because guess what? When I do the future parity and turn on ray tracing with my 4070 and a CPU that goes up to 5.2 gigahertz and like 64, 32 gigabytes of RAM and NVIDIA systems, what are you going to do about that? There's nothing you can do about that. So enough with all that nonsense. And I told him it's 30% behind on frames performance. It is. So how is that even close? It's not. And future parity means availability. And I said, I can do that on my PC and make the gap even wider because NVIDIA systems are better. You don't have NVIDIA systems on PlayStation. You have an AMD chipset. So what's going on with that? See, I just do the same thing over here. Yeah, game over. And this guy says, if it was equivalent to a 47, it would outperform a 47. That's just how console gaming works. So he's saying that to the sense that if the console had the same CPU as I had, and the same RAM as I had, and the same GPU as I had, it would only be focused only on console performance because it's not using other resources like on PC. If that's the case, I could understand that. But when you have NVIDIA systems, you're still going to be left behind because you're stuck with AMD systems, which are not as good as NVIDIA systems. Your frame generation is not, you know what I mean? It's not going to happen. There are so many things that NVIDIA has that are just better quality. It's just a fact. But at least that somehow would make, some certain sense. But we see that the performance, it doesn't match the 4070. It's so much behind in a lot of other aspects. Plus, you don't have the CPU to run the 47 at full potential. You don't have the NVIDIA systems, and you don't have the RAM. Let's go down to this next ignorant comment. Okay, so we're gonna, right here. Why do PC guys get so insecure and worried about a new console comes out? What is there to be insecure about? The parts are way better. And as a matter of fact, here goes my Nintendo Switch Pro controller. Here goes my Nintendo Switch right here. Here goes my PlayStation 5 controller. What are you talking about? I own all consoles 24/7. Here goes my Xbox controller. Here goes my other Xbox controller. I have everything. So Yeah, I mean, it just blows my mind with these people because I'm like, why are you calling me a PC guy? I love video games, so I have everything. I've always had everything. There were times where my PC was definitely out of date, and then I got an amazing gaming laptop. I've had a desktop, and then I have a gaming laptop. I've always done this. And lately, I've got a really, really good laptop because it's more efficient to me. Going on vacation here next month, I can move it around. I can take it with me. I don't need a screen outside of it, right? And it's really good, and it blows any console out of the water. And we're going to get into that in a second. So, because there's an idiot that's trying to somehow downplay the laptop when it's like, dude, do you know how many laptops on the market that are literally way better than your gimpy PlayStation? And I own it, and I'm saying that. I'm speaking facts here. You're the ones that are the insecure fanboy because you're coming in to defend Sony and you're coming in to defend Digital Foundry, who just brainwashed you with nonsense saying that probably get a 4070. No, you should have said 4060 Ti. You were incorrect. That's okay. They make mistakes. Thank God. So I said I have all consoles and I always have been. Yes, I have been gaming since 1994 on regular Nintendo. And I love Nintendo more than anything. I do. Because they represent gaming. They don't get into all this garbage, this DEI garbage and microtransactions. Like they're the real deal. They may be behind on tech, but they're going to catch up on that. But once again, it's about good video games. Are you saying I'm a PC guy? If so, I am not. I am here to speak facts. I love where the best games are. I'm also getting the pro. I just dislike information. So this misinformation is your misinformation. Once again, where's my misinformation? Idiot. This console is not even out yet, so a lot of this is speculation. Dude, they gave us the 67% compute units and 45% rendering. All around, they're telling you that it may be closer to a 7700 XT. But anyways, here we go right here. The PlayStation 5 Pro, the AI GPU is expected to be comparable to a NVIDIA RTX 4060 or Radeon 7700 XT. There are some key differences. Console-specific optimizations doesn't have NVIDIA systems. AMD architecture. Sony relies on AMD architecture. It is best to compare the PlayStation 5 Pro to AMD GPUs instead of NVIDIA's. And PSSR, which has been on NVIDIA and it has been also in AMD worlds. They're not doing anything new here. All you did is just upgrade your console with a PC card that's been on the market, and you're using DLSS scaling or AMD scaling, but it's with AMD technology. You got these morons that are trying to make this like some sort of miracle is happening when it's just a GPU upgrade. That's it. With ray tracing enhancements. Once again, you still can't handle all of that because you have the same CPU and you have the same RAM. What is so hard to understand about this? Can your tiny brain can't comprehend that? Can it? It seems like it can't. It just blows my mind. So, right over here, the AMD CPU. We're going to look at the PlayStation 5 AMD CPU right here. It's a Zen 2 CPU, right? Let's get the raw stats here. It has a base frequency of 3 gigahertz. It has a turbo frequency of 3.5. The highest it can go is 3.5 gigahertz. Let's take a look at mine. AMD Ryzen 9 8945 HS. This is important, guys, by the way. 32 gigabytes of RAM, like I said. I can get 64 if I want. Base clock 4 gigahertz. Turbo speed 5.2 gigahertz. So while you're trying to hit 3.5, I'm at 5.2. I'm almost 2.0 gigahertz per thread higher than yours. That's 16 more gigahertz almost of speed. I blow the PlayStation 5's CPU out of the goddamn water with double the memory. And I have a 4060 Ti equivalent in here because mine is a 4070 laptop. This is important because we're gonna get to why this is important. You guys are gonna realize this because of what this idiot said in the comment thread. The multi-thread rating is almost 30,000. The single thread rating is almost 4,000. PlayStation 4, single thread is 9,000. Almost quadruple your rating. You have 6,600. Almost times 5 your multi-thread performance. And I have double the memory that you do at a higher frequency. And I have NVIDIA systems because I have an RTX 4070 inside of here. So that's out the way, right? That's done, right? Just shutting down these morons. So why are you arguing the Pro is a slight improvement over the PlayStation 5, which all upscaling for the most part, which is what all devices have been doing the last few years anyway. We don't dispute that. The video was created to clear up silly BS that a $700 console is torching PCs with a 4070. Yeah, you're out of your damn mind. Thanks to Digital Foundry. There's zero evidence of this massive performance upgrade. That's why they didn't give raw numbers for a reason. They just gave you that nonsense. But you can take the 45% rendering, which means that you're going to get a 45% FPS increase. Just do the math. If you really need all this other stuff, then you're just a sheep and you're saying you can't do it yourself. You want to wait around for somebody to stick something in your mind, like saying 4070, so you can be brainwashed because you don't know how systems work. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing that because you would have figured it out yourself. And most of us being parts nerds, we know this to be false exactly and unattainable with the current PS5 CPU, like I said. Where am I arguing? You are arguing. It's just another one of these idiots. Nowhere have I seen anyone say anything about the Pro torching at 4070. Oh boy, he ain't seen that they said that some people thought 4090, 4080. They waited him as far as that. He hadn't done his research, but of course, typical uneducated idiot. This is why I say you guys are more delusional than bots. We're more delusional than bots. Hoodster, right? Yeah, you stupid monkey. You don't know what you're talking about. And this is what I mean. You come onto this comment section, you start calling people bots, you start harassing people. Yeah, you have the mind of a monkey, just like the people that get brainwashed in politics and run around with all this nonsense, starting up riots, attacking people, causing up a bunch of violence, telling me that the misinformation is my misinformation. Now calling people bots. Yeah, I'm going to call you exactly what you are. You're ignorant and uneducated. And exactly what I just said before. And it's 100% correct. So, you say slight improvement. Most tech heads and professionals say it's a substantial improvement. Who are these people? I don't care what you or anyone else says because you are just rabid fanboys. We are fanboys, right? Arguing about stuff that don't even concern you. Again, I'm just curious of why all this is necessary. Yeah, you're brain dead. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Post a link where Digital Foundry, anyone said that the Pro was torching 4070s. I could have sworn Digital Foundry said it was equivalent to a downclocked 4070. I noticed it happens every time. Just wait till the next generations come. His 4070 laptop, if it hasn't died of old age, will literally be flatlined by it. Died of old age. Boy, is that interesting, right? Because this CPU came out this year. The CPU right here that I'm using. This is Q1 2024. He's using a CPU from like 2018, that Zen 2. Mine's a Zen 4 series. I have 32 gigabytes of RAM. Whose technology is outdated? I have a 4070 in here. I'm trying to figure out, this is the latest series. These people never cease to amaze me how stupid they are. So, like I said, another one coming on the thread. Here he goes again. I said, I have a 57X 3D plus RX 7800 XT, and that card struggles to do almost okay in ray tracing. Imagine a 6700. Delusional is the word indeed. The PS5 Pro console will cost 700. Okay, that's Brazil. Okay, yeah, that's Brazil currency. Something like 1600. But oh my God, that's terrible. Not to mention that you could pay your $700 plus tax if you get the hard drive, $800 plus tax. Good luck paying $120 a year for PlayStation Online. So if you had that for 6 years, well, you're spending another console on that. On PC, you don't have to spend anything. If we're just talking about third party, so you could build yourself a nice PC instead of doing that. Nobody talks about that though, right? Most people pay for like the premium edition of online to get the PS1 Classic. They're spending like $200 and they don't even use it. I said, right, that's crazy expensive. Thanks for sharing, bro. I will let you know once it's here. Me and him are just talking, right? Here comes this guy again, Judah Falls, this brain dead imbecile. You just proved the point because there is no AMD GPU on the market that has it. Dude, there's AMD GPUs on the market that will blow the PlayStation 5 Pro's GPU out of the damn water. These people get stuck on this ray tracing nonsense. It's still not optimized for next gen. A lot of people leave it off because it's just not optimized. If it's not optimized, what are you going to do about that? You're still going to be playing games under 30 frames per second trying to run that with that CPU and RAM. Do these people not understand how the way things work? Ray tracing ain't all that if it's not fully optimized with the right amount of speed and RAM. This guy is literally quoting a video telling people to buy a 7700 XT and they will suddenly be safe and be able to compete with who is trying to compete with a $700 console when we could buy a $3,000 PC if we want to? If you got the money in the world, what the hell would you worry about competing with a console for? It's the other way around. You're trying to sit there and be like the PC. Unbelievable. So stupid. Dude, you are a perfect example of a brainwashed Sony fanboy. You keep showing how you understand nothing about how CPU bound and memory bound the console is. Let's not even get into NVIDIA systems that are superior. It's just a 4060 Ti at best. Keep trying to make a $700 PC look good. You people are so delusional. Now, y'all tell me where I'm wrong. You know consoles are better optimized, don't you, for perspective? Only if we were bound to the same specs with NVIDIA systems. But when I have a NVIDIA GPU and a NVIDIA laptop, and you have an AMD system, yeah, we're equal, my systems beat yours. You know, this stuff just gets out of line after a while because it's like all the resources you're talking about, resources and all this is just RAM. I could put 128 gigabytes of RAM up in here. They don't mean nothing then. And NVIDIA systems smoke you. So when you're stuck over here with this Zen 2 processor that has a base clock of 3 gigahertz and can only go up to 3.5, with also lower L123 caches, by the way, keep that in mind, lower performances on the threads and memory threads, because that's why you see this rating right here. When I can come over here with 5.2 gigahertz up in your face with the higher L1, L2, L3 cache memory right here too, boy, you're going to get smoked. See, Q1 2024. This laptop came out this year. What are we talking about here? We're gonna get to that too. So you know, I kind of find that stuff kind of funny here. You know what I mean? Where it's like, dude, I can always upgrade anytime I want. He's going to say that my statement was wrong, and I said, his statement is wrong, and so is yours. They are not better optimized than a PC. The card is 20% behind in rendering and 30% behind in FPS. CPU limited and RAM limited. Dude, no NVIDIA systems too, which beat AMD easy. Just stop. So that's why I said that when you try to make that statement, it's like, what statement are you making? Why would I want a PC that's like the PS5 Pro? Why would I choose that? To rebuild it all over again? That's very stupid. No. So this isn't accurate. The card that it's been compared to is in a 7700 XT, which outperforms the 4060. No, it doesn't. The systems are behind. But, you know, that's a different topic. You know what I mean? Like I said, AMD cards can be good. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just their systems are not as good as NVIDIA's. On top of that, consoles tend to get more out of the GPU compared to PC since they are programmed that's not necessarily the case. If you're behind in everything else and you don't got the right systems, it's more like a slightly down locked 47. It's not slightly, it's behind by 30% and over 20% rendering. With DLSS, no, it's not an NVIDIA system. That's an AMD system that Sony tweaked. They have AMD technology. They don't have DLSS. You would have to have NVIDIA technology for that. And what we know now is RDNA4 ray tracing features. Here they go again with this ray tracing nonsense. NVIDIA has the same thing, and I can do the same thing with my GPU right now, with a better CPU and a better RAM, and better NVIDIA systems. You're locked with what you get. I can go upgrade that anytime and blow you out of the water. So what are you talking about? Both Sony and Digital Foundry have said that ray tracing and PSSR are things not currently found on the AMD GPU market. Dude, like, this is the funny thing to me, which I kind of find funny. These people are overblowing up nonsense that a lot of people are not going to want because they want 60 frames per second. They're not going to be doing RT4. They'll do light ray tracing, if anything. What do you want? Like Mark Sony said, 80% of the PlayStation user base is choosing performance. They're ignoring ray tracing. I ignore it sometimes. But because it's on PlayStation, all of a sudden let's overblow up something that's been in the video world for a very long time. AMD has ray tracing too, and they have FSR 3.1, and they just announced FSR 4.0. But guess what though? People with AMD CPUs and AMD GPUs can build an insane rig and just blow it out of the water and put like 128 gigabytes of RAM in there. At the end of the day, no matter what you try, your stuff is outdated. You're CPU bound and you're CPU limited. And this is for people who are only in the console world. I have them all over there. All I'm here to do is talk about facts. I don't care about your fanboy emotions coming in here trying to defend Sony. Those are the bots. And I was like, no, it will not, because it's CPU limited. That's why it's behind 20% rendering and 30% FPS. How is that close? NVIDIA has better tech than AMD, and PlayStation 5 uses AMD parts. They will not come close to what a PC can do with frame generation and other systems. When you have 32 and 64 gigabytes of RAM, also on way better CPU, it can't match it. PC users can always make the card run way better when consoles are locked. This is what I mean, bro. It says, once again, this card in the PS5 Pro is heavily based on RDNA4 tech, so comparing it to a GPU currently on the market when it's using tech that no AMD GPU has is intellectually dishonest. This guy is slow. He seriously thinks because it has the ray tracing times 4 that no AMD card on the market, even like a 1500 AMD card or 2000 AMD card, cannot match it. This is how slow they are. These people are brainwashed and are delusional. Like, it just blows my mind that they make these type of statements. From what we know, this card will definitely be more efficient than anything AMD currently has. Oh my God, are you that dumb? They have been there have been developers who have said they would compare this to a 7800 XT. I think I'll trust them over your armchair speculation. Wow. Guys, let me tell you something. If somebody gave a math problem in the world and nobody was in math professional positions, and somebody outside who's just a regular person in the room, let's just think about this. What if he solved that faster than them? Doesn't matter, because he's not a professional in the room. He doesn't have some title, but yet he's better than all of them at math, and he doesn't even want to get hired by them. See, this type of mentality and thinking is very stupid. He thinks they're professionals. Oh yeah, but you made a unprofessional statement saying RTX 4070 equivalent, right? Now, the professionals are the people who understand how things work and don't make mistakes. Definitely if you're in a professional position and you know if you say something wrong like that, you'll start up a fanboy riot with morons like this coming on my channel that don't know what they're talking about. I said, okay, run off in your fantasy over a card that's been on the PC market for a while. With the 5 series around the corner. Once again, CPU limited with the same RAM, won't even run anything at 4K 60 frames per second. Ray tracing is demanding and doesn't make anything run better. You people are naive and fall for nonsense from Sony 24/7. It's not better than the RTX 4060 Ti, period, because guess what? I have NVIDIA systems. I have a better CPU, I have better RAM. You don't. NVIDIA can do all that with the best systems as always. My statement stands corrected. Yeah, tell me where I'm wrong. Only time will tell, sport. We can agree on that. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Fine. Yeah. All right. That's cool, right? You're not saying nothing stupid, so I'm okay with that. And here comes this retard again. The argument only works when you are trying to target higher frame rates. Why would you not want to target higher frame rates? Who is choosing lower performance over visuals with ray tracing times 4 on, sitting over there running at 25 frames per second because you're CPU and RAM bound? Oh boy, you already said everything right there. Please never speak again. If you make the parameters that you can target less visuals than a PS5 Pro on your trash laptop. My laptop is trash, guys, right? We already did the comparisons here, right? 5 times multi-thread performance, quadruple the single thread performance, double the memory, 100% better memory with higher frequency of memory. And I have a 4070 in my laptop that is more powerful than the 4060 Ti because I have better stuff with it in NVIDIA systems. And my laptop is trash, right? Like, I can't go and get a $2,000-$3,000 PC if I want to. Would you think I can't? I don't care to. I'm waiting on the 5 series. But anyways, and I don't need it. Like I said, your console compared to mine, I embarrass it. So yeah, you see what I mean right here? See the mindset of these idiots? Laptop, but at a much higher frame rate, then of course you will win the argument. Digital Foundry is looking at it from the perspective. See, they're coming in to defend his wrong. He's just wrong. Just say it. What's wrong with you morons? From the perspective of a console user buying a PC for the first time, wanting a comparable, who in their right mind is going to want to get a PC like the PS5 Pro? Why would I do that when I'm going to have to rebuild the whole entire thing and get rid of that? Nobody's going to want to buy it either. Why not just get an amazing motherboard that can put whatever you want in there, then you can just replace things? I want to get the most expensive motherboard and the most expensive CPU. Point blank, period. Because once I got all that speed and I have all the right up-to-date slots, then I can put whatever I want on there with the right amount of watts. No console user is going to sacrifice all their visuals to try to push up. Oh, but hold on now. You just contradicted yourself. That argument only works if you're trying to target higher frame rates. Mark Cerny said 80% of the PlayStation users are going to choose performance mode. They don't give a shit about RTX times 4. These are all the people who want to come in here and try to make the PlayStation 5 somehow look good with all this RDNA 94. Man, get out of here with this nonsense, bro. It's not like that. It's not doing that to the full extent because they would have the CPU with it and the RAM with it. It's nothing but deception. That's why they hid their stats. Why not show your stats, right? Just like Sony doesn't want to show their stats and the physical results for software. Why? Because Nintendo's stomping your ass. You'll show it against if only Microsoft was in the world. You see, you hide your stats for a reason, so you can deceive people. Why not just give people the stats? What's so hard about that, guys? Please, let me know what's so hard about showing somebody your stats. Yeah, if I hide my stats, it means I'm trying to hide something and feed people all this nonsense. Nice PC AGN thumbs. I see PlayStation fanboys, haven't changed from 4090 last week to 47 this week. Yeah, people are too fixated on just the GPU. Oh boy, don't get me started. The other hardware is just as important. CPU. Also, PS5 Pro is still running at max 60 frames. I mean, 60 frames is the minimum baseline for PC gaming. 60 frames cap in 2024. Can PlayStation 5 Pro adequately handle 1440p at 60 frames with minimal, with no drops on a living TV room? I'm genuinely curious. There's going to be a lot of games that can't do that on. Let's also talk about, can you do even 1440p native 60 with running everything on Ultra with that CPU? Let's do something. Let's do something else here, guys. How many games are going to be made on Unreal Engine because it saves people money? Heavy CPU demanded. All these new games coming out are all CPU heavy. It used to be where it was like, okay, it's heavy GPU demanded, right? Some games can still do that, but there's so many games now that are CPU heavy. Let's go to a game like Space Marine 2. It's not using Unreal Engine. High CPU usage. GPU, CPU usage. Space Marine 2 is CPU heavy. The thing is though, is that like if you start looking at all these new games that are coming out, all Unreal Engine games, even other games on like the Ubi engine too as well, you're going to see that the CPU is going to be used a lot more because of all these hyper details. You're going to need those threads to run that at a higher frequency. It's just common sense. It's getting insane now with the hyper detail focus. That's why these games are so expensive. But all in all, y'all, like, subscribe, let me know what y'all think of this. I had to get very passionate, and I had to slam them. I'm not going to do this in the comments because, YouTube comments are different than on camera. I just wanted to give them a good whack. Now I understand why people in the PC community can be toxic towards these idiots because they're rude and annoying and uneducated and ignorant. Don't come out my thread harassing me, calling me names when you are incorrect, defending wrong. He made a mistake. He should have corrected himself and said, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said 4070. No, because it's not. It's very simple. Things can be nice, but I'm not going to deal with this ignorance. I'm going to challenge it and put it in its place. So yeah, this got a little bit of a controversy going on, a little bit heated. The world loves this type of stuff. I didn't do this because I wanted attention. No, I did this because I wanted to correct you idiots, and I had to do a video to do it because I can't do it in the comments because everything is soft now. And it can't hurt their little feelings. You know what I mean? All this type of stuff. So for the people that just don't have anything to do with this, you know, kind of stay in your own world. This is manly stuff right here for people who can be manly and not be feminine about nonsense. But all in all, glad to do this. And if anything else comes up, we get some more specs. I'm going to be covering this. Man, what the hell's going on with the camera and this? I need to fix this. This is annoying. But once again, before we go out, 992 points, single thread, 6,600 multi-thread, 3,864 single thread, 30,000 multi-thread, which is what we're doing because we're running. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got embarrassed. All right, y'all. Peace out. Stay intelligent, please. Don't be like them.